I've played Silksong for about 80 hours now, and I think about half of that was spent fighting this frog. He only really has a few attacks. He can shoot acid at you, dive into the maggot water, or he can suck you. All of the attacks do 2 hits of damage, and every now and then, random enemies will just pop up out of the ground and attack you, because this fight wasn't already difficult enough. Thrall's attacks are a pain to deal with, but what makes this fight so painful is the bile water. If you fall into this toilet water and you're at half health, you may as well just give up because you're already dead. The only way to get these maggots off of your health bar is to heal, but when you heal, it only gets rid of the maggots. So you have to try and attack enough to build up silk to be able to heal, while also making sure you don't get hit by the frog or any of his friends, or the massive spiky ball that swings back and forth because that's there for some reason. And if you make a mistake and die, have fun getting back. When Team Cherry said you can explore all of Farloom, they were talking about this run back. You have to go up here, then right, then up and left and up, and then all the way left, and pray the entire time that these guys don't follow you, because if they do, you'll be fighting Grohl with like 2 health left. And also make sure you don't fall into the toilet water, because if you do, you have to go all the way back to the bench and try again. And all of this run back is only if you manage to find the secret bench, which, let's be honest, you're not finding this without a YouTube tutorial. And the other run back, it takes about half an hour just to get back to the fight, and then you spend like 2 minutes and then just have to go all the way back again. And when you're finally done this god-awful fight, it has a phase 2, because of course it does. And for some reason he is Vengeful Spirit, what the frog? So you're probably wondering, what do you get after doing all this and killing Grohl? You unlock more bile water, which leads on to the putrefied ducks, which is arguably worse than bile water. There are 3 acts in Silksong, with each one progressing the story more. But that's a lie. There are 2 acts in Silksong. There's before Beastfly, and after Beastfly. Before Beastfly, you think this game is like Hollow Knight, with a mixture of exploration, combat and story. And after Beastfly, you understand this game is a mixture of devotion, pain, failure, and complete bullshit. Some people don't agree and somehow think Beastfly was easy. Good for you. But for those of us who fought Beastfly more than once, I'm sorry for your loss. Beastfly by itself isn't actually that difficult. He can headbutt you or run into you at Mach 20, both are kind of easy to dodge, but you know what isn't easy to dodge? 50 enemies, all on the screen at once. This stupid flying piece of trash summons every single enemy introduced up until now. How am I supposed to dodge attacks if there physically just isn't enough room for me to be on the screen? Look at this. Where do I go? And these smaller enemies all have their own attacks you have to remember and dodge as well. There's the spiky guy who just takes up space on the ground, so he can't go there. There's the mini beastflies who have the same Mach 20 attack as Beastfly, and there's the flying guys whose attack is literally just to take up space. This entire fight you have to decide, do I want to damage the actual boss, who I'm supposed to be fighting, or do I want to focus on the smaller enemies and make no progress with the actual boss fight? If you choose option 1, you'll be hit by the smaller enemies, and if you choose option 2, you'll be hit by Beastfly, and the smaller enemies. But if you don't try and kill the smaller enemies, they build up and just keep on taking up more and more space on the screen, making the fight even more difficult. And the run back for this fight is painful as well. It just takes ages, and why? It would have been so easy just to put a bench here, there's space for it. The only reason I can think of a boss needing a run back is to build up some silk before you actually fight it so you can use tools. But since there's a bunch of other enemies here anyway, you're building up silk, so what's the point? It makes no sense and just makes the fight take longer. And when you finally make it past this fight, somehow, against all odds, Team Cherry did it. They made Beastfly even more annoying to fight. The extra enemies are replaced by literal demons who shoot fire at you. They have aimbot and they will never miss. But when they do miss, they actually didn't miss because the fire they shoot just sticks to the ground after they shoot it. Also, the ground is pretty cool. Too bad it's gone. This fight is why everyone says Silksong is too difficult. It's why Beastfly is one of the most annoying bosses in the entire game, and it's also why there's a hole in my wall. Every single part of this fight works together perfectly to be the most annoying time-wasting boss fight ever. Everything does double damage, there's nowhere to dodge, nowhere to stand, so I guess I have to float. And if you didn't do this boss fight before Act 3, good luck. But there's still one thing I haven't talked about yet that's arguably worse than both of these bosses. You always think when you enter a new area that the big enemies are more dangerous than the rest of the enemies. But that's not true, because in every single area, it has some little shit that just throws or shoots random projectiles at you, and every single one of these enemies are always in the background. You don't think they're a threat because they're all the way over there, and you're all the way over here, so surely they can't. And these enemies are in every single area. No matter where you go, they're watching in the distance, waiting to ruin your day. In the Citadel, it's this bell guy. He looks completely harmless. He's not. In Putrefied Ducts, it's this mosquito. In Bile Water, it's this guy. And in Blasted Steps, it's you. You piece of trash. This enemy is called a Driznit, but I prefer the name Little Shit. In Blasted Steps, there's a boss called the Last Judge. It's a really fun boss fight, even though it is really difficult.
Wait a minute! Something ain't right!
But there's one thing about this boss that is just painful. The run back. Every single time you try and go back to fight the Last Judge, this guy is just sitting there, waiting. He's literally rage baiting you. And I know he might look like he doesn't know what he's doing, and he looks like he doesn't understand what's happening, but he does. He knows exactly what he's doing. He always sits in the perfect spot to hit you as you run by, and if he does hit you, you fall into this and take damage. And if you try and dodge him hitting you, you fall into this and take damage. He knows what he's doing. I haven't even talked about the projectile yet. See this? This is kind of like Captain America's shield. Whenever Captain America throws his shield, regardless of the angle and distance, it always somehow comes right back to him. This is the exact same, except it always finds a way to come right back to you. It defies all laws of physics, and somehow, even if you've already dodged it multiple times, it will still hit you. Driz is bad enough, but these guys? They all share something in common. Since Silksong was released, everyone's been saying the game is too difficult, and I think I finally figured out why. These enemies all have a throwing attack with 3 projectiles. When Team Cherry were making Silksong, they were obviously trying to make it more difficult than Hollow Knight. So they asked themselves, what do Hollow Knight fans hate? What strikes fear into the heart of any Hollow Knight player? That's right, the Primal Aspid. This piece of crap is impossible to dodge, so Team Cherry decided to just copy and paste its attack onto all of these enemies, and that's why Silksong is so difficult. Also because Bile Water exists.